Continuing with Dev D. Now, a special mention about Chandramukhi, because in the original Devdas film, the Chandramukhi's background has not been shown much. It is understood that she was born in the house of a Tawaif and she became a Tawaif. It is very common in this world that a child born to a sex worker will 95% of cases they become sex workers only. There is no one who's there to pull them out of that muck of prostitution. So there are many NGOs and government and all, they claim to be very much aware of it, the unhappiness of the prostitutes and poverty and things like that, but nothing much has taken place on that end. Anyway, so this girl is but in Dev D, Chandramukhi is a girl who belongs to a good family, who is normal family, and she's shown that she's going to school, and when she gets down in front of the school gate, but then there's a guy who comes on a mobile and she goes bunks the school basically. And what is she doing with him? She's having sex with him. She's been shown as a Havas ki Pujari kind of a very sex-starved female who wants to have fun and she wants to have sex around. She wants to enjoy life. That's what her definition of enjoyment is. Now the guy that she's going around with is much older to her, looks older to her. What he does is he takes out an MMS of her, in a sense that while they're doing the needful, when they're effing, he makes a film out of it, and that film gets leaked. It's a blue film clip, MMS, that gets leaked, and it reaches the father also. So there's a lot of scandal in the family. People are screaming, and I mean they are totally shaken, and they're shocked that the daughter, instead of going to school in a school dress, she's actually going to get herself she's going to do the needful with another guy, a random guy, and not only that, even her pictures, her total nude, stark nude pictures are also available on the MMS, which means the family is totally marred. So father commits suicide. This girl's father commits suicide. The mother is also very upset now. So they send her away to the village. Now in the village, it's all the more they are all the more orthodox, and they cannot tolerate Chandramukhi, because she is the reason for her father's death, untimely death. One thing which is very strange about this character is that Chandramukhi is least bothered, least perturbed about the fact that her father died because of her, the fact that she bunked schools and went ahead to have sex with guys. So the fact that this is such a shameful thing, she didn't bother her at all. She was like, oh my god, yeah, big deal. I wanted to have sex, I had sex. So it was made into a movie, so what can I do about it? That was her attitude, which is not seen. Must be there, the girls must be like that, but Hindi movies don't usually deal with such kind of characters. So it's a kind of a taboo. Because Indian women are to be presented in a very shy, coy, nice girls, So it's surprising that Kalki has been shown as a one sex-starved female who's least bothered about anything. The fact the father committed suicide because of her MMS, it didn't bother her at all. So she reaches where she actually belonged to, which is a brothel. She runs away from the village, she reaches a brothel, and because she was good looking and a bit educated, she was getting clients who were ready to pay more. Because see, males have to feed their ego. If they see a female who's good looking, plus she can speak English, and she's more educated, that feeds their ego. Ki, wow, I hired a sex worker today who could speak in English also. India has got that charm. So this female, now she's doing distance studies also, because she realizes that as a prostitute she will get 2,500, but if she becomes an escort girl by getting her graduation and all, and if she applies to big hotels and all as an escort girl, she will get 25,000 for the same thing. That understanding she developed later after joining that brothel, because once you come into the brothel, you know how the business works. This is the kind of girl that Chandramukhi is. So now Chandramukhi and Devdas meet, because Devdas comes to know later when Paro gets married that his friend was lying about Paro. Paro never slept with anyone. That was a big shock to Devdas, and he comes and stumbles across Chandramukhi. Now they are shown as they are doing the needful, and he's trying to get Paro again and again. One day Paro comes to his hotel where he stays, and she was just being caring towards him. She washes his clothes and all, but so he thought that she will always also have sex with him. So he tries it, and she slaps him because she was basically not there for. She just loved him. What she wanted to tell, because basically Paro has been shown as a very chaste and a loyal kind of a woman, not the kind she was in. Actually, the fact that she took the mattress to the fields is because she loved him. That's why she intended to marry him. That's why she thought that, okay, when I'm going to marry him, so I can always get physically intimate with him. That was her intention. But when it did not happen, she just backed off, and she did not mean that she will continue to have an affair with him. That much responsibility and that much chastity that female Paro has had in this film, at least this much has been shown. There has to be a difference between Paro and Chandramukhi after all. So anyways, so he gets drunk, and he used to get drunk and all. Devdas saw that he actually lost a good girl, and then he goes to Paro, and then they it's shown that the Paro and Devdas he goes to Chandramukhi, and then it's eventually shown at the end of the film that Chandramukhi and Devdas may live happily ever after. So imagine Devdas left Paro because of the suspicion that she may be sleeping around with a guy, and now at the end of the day he is going to get married to a female whose job is to sleep around with guys. He marries, or maybe he lives together with a prostitute. So this is the modern take Devdi by Anurag Kashyap. I think this is what happens in India nowadays. People who are recklessly getting into sex and stuff, and they think that living in is a very modern concept. They are falling in such traps, and they are ruining their lives. This is what has been shown in the film. Thank you.